Hey everyone, it's Riley, and today I'm back with another bullet journaling video. So I've never done a video quite like this before, but I'm really excited for this one because it's all about choosing your theme for April. So as you probably know, I make custom bullet journals that I sell on Etsy. The link to my Etsy shop is in the description if you're interested to learn more. But basically, I make like dozens of different monthly themes every single month. So like I'll set up multiple full year journals with different themes for every month that I do. And so I am constantly coming up with and using new bullet journal themes. So I thought I would share with you guys some of my favorite theme ideas for April. So in this video, I'm just going to draw out like the cover page for some different monthly themes that you could use for April. I'm not going to draw out the whole thing and like set up the entire month, because if you're interested in that and in knowing like what kinds of spreads I would use at the beginning of each month, I would love for you guys to go check out my actual April plan with me, because with that one, I walk through the entire process of setting up a whole month. So with this video, the purpose is to give you guys like doodle ideas essentially, and you can take those doodles, copy the cover page that I do, and then take the doodles and just apply them to the other pages like the calendar and the tasks page and stuff like that that I use in my April plan with me video. So speaking of my April plan with me, I will link that right above because that is actually my first theme idea for you guys for April. So I like to really combine a few different things when I'm coming up with a theme. And so my April is like a little moth on a postage stamp. So check that one out. That is theme idea number 1. So let's jump in and set up some title pages for my next 4 theme ideas. And don't forget to let me know in the comments which one is your favorite, and if you do decide to use any of these and recreate them, definitely tag me over on Instagram. The link to my Instagram is in the description as well. So the first April cover page that I'll be doing for you guys is one that I'm doing for an actual custom journal. So if you can see on the left page, she has a water tracker. So I haven't set up the rest of the monthly spreads for this, but this is going out to an actual customer. So I'm doing a theme that I've done once before, and it's a little like rain boots and umbrella theme. So for today, I decided to put a little calendar in the middle, purely for decoration. I don't really find these tiny little calendars useful for anything, but I do think that they're a pretty cute addition to many cover pages. So I've actually done this theme before in a different custom journal. So I will link one of those journals, either this actual one or a different one where I've done the same theme. I'll link one of those above so that you can check it out if you're interested. So I made my little calendar and started drawing the boots in the corner. And then for my calligraphy, you can see I just went in and wrote April and then darkened up the top half of the letters by using the exact same blue marker and just going over it a second time. So we've got boots underneath and then an umbrella above, and you can use whatever colors you want for this. I wanted to use some really sort of spring colors. So the last time I did this theme, I used blue and yellow, and I loved that combination. But this time I decided to try a bit of a pinkish purple in place of the yellow. Now under the boots, I decided to use the really fine tip of my Shuttle Art dual tip brush marker to make a little blue puddle. You can hardly see it on camera, but trust me, it is much more obvious when you're actually looking at the journal in person. I also used my white gel pen to add a bit of extra decor to the umbrella, the boots, and the lettering. Finally, I'm just going to add a little border, and you can add a black border if you want to, or you can use one of the colors that you used for the theme, like blue, but I decided to just go in and make a really light gray border. So that's the first theme that we'll be doing today, and this next part is totally optional. I added some washi tapes to the edges just to sort of fill that space a little bit, but you definitely don't have to if you don't want to. So the next cover page that we're doing here is not for an actual custom journal. I'm just doing this one for fun in one of my extra journals that I had sitting around, and I'm going to be making one of those tiny house themes that I've done before. So first off, I'm just using the light brown that I want to use for the house itself to draw the outline, and then I'm going to color it all in. So this is another theme that I've done before in a previous custom bullet journal, so I'll link the flip through for that journal above. So next I'm doing the door, and instead of just drawing a door on, which you easily could do and which I normally would do, you can use washi tape like I did. So I took some washi tape and just cut sort of a rounded door, although you could leave it totally rectangular. It's completely up to you. So I pasted that little washi tape door on, and next I'm coloring in the roof with a dark blue Shuttle Art dual tip brush pen. So for most of the themes that I'm showcasing in this video, I used really like sort of bright, springy colors, like for example, the rubber boots theme that we just did. For this one, I did decide to use some more muted colors so that hopefully people with different color palette preferences can find something that they like in this video. So this color palette is more similar anyways to my own April Plan With Me theme, which was that moth on a postage stamp. So if you haven't already checked that out, be sure to do that, especially if you like sort of muted, warm color palettes like this one. So you can see I put little chimneys and some little pots along with the house, and now I'm just going in with the fine tip of a Tombow dual tip brush pen and drawing some stems and leaves, and these are just going to be large flowers. Well, large in proportion to the house, but actually really small. So I'm just using, again, some more of the fine tips of the markers that I've been using previously to make some little reddish, orangish flowers that go with this warm color scheme. As usual, I like to add a little bit more excitement by using my white gel pen. So for this one, I'm just adding white gel pen to the roof, adding some vertical lines, but you could certainly add more of it in other parts of this little house if you wanted to. So to finish off this little house theme, again, I will be adding a border. I don't always do this to my cover pages, and for the next two, I won't be doing it, but it is something nice, especially if you're doing a theme more like these two that I've done where they're pretty concentrated on the middle of the page and they don't really stretch across the page. Like for example, when I do a jellyfish theme, it kind of flows across the entire page. For these ones, I find that a border kind of helps to make the page look full but not too busy. So that's the little house theme. Now over on the other side, I'm going to be doing another theme, and this is an ocean inspired theme. So I absolutely love doing ocean themed doodles, drawing jellyfish, crabs, squids, stingray, whatever. I find they make such cute bullet journal themes. And so for this video, I'll be doing a little squid theme that I've also done in another custom journal, and it's still one of my all-time favorite themes. So if you want to check out that other custom journal, I will link it above. So I used some peachy tones, which are actually the exact same markers that I used for my own March Plan With Me, where I did those little whales, again, ocean inspired. So I'm using a light peach to just color these squids, and then a darker one for the letters in April. So now that I've got the bodies of the squids, I'm going in with white gel pen and just adding some random doodles. So the same sort of wavy, squiggly lines that I would normally add to my jellyfish drawings when I do that bullet journal theme. And the final step here for the squids is just to outline them, and today I'm using a black gel pen, although normally I do use a fine liner. It's really up to you, whatever you have access to and whatever you prefer. So next I'm adding some bubbles, and as I mentioned in the intro for this video, any of these themes can be used for the entire month. So I'm just doing a cover page here, but if you wanted to use this for your entire month, I would just add little squids to, for example, the corner of the calendar page, or little bubbles around the heading or something like that. You can just take different elements of these themes and doodle them onto the rest of your monthly pages. So the final theme in this setup is probably the simplest, although I think they're all pretty achievable. So I'm just drawing a box in the middle of the page, and you can make this as big or as small as you want it to. Personally, I actually don't love how tall I made it this time. I think normally I've made it a bit shorter and wider, but anyways, I decided to try a bit different proportions. So the next step is pretty much just to fill this box in with wavy blocks of color. So pick 3 or 4 colors. My colors are again pretty vibrant spring colors, so I'm actually using the same 2 colors as I used for the first theme with the rain boots and the umbrella, and then I am using an additional purple as well. And all you got to do is draw really random wavy lines. They don't need to follow the same pattern, and just fill them in completely with color. So at first you can see I decided to leave some white space around the letters, but I later decided to just go in and fill it in. So if you do like how it looks more filled in with color, I would recommend just doing it in a bit of a different order than I did, and just going in with all of the color first, and then afterwards using your black marker to go in and write April. So I've done this theme before using more of a muted color palette, and personally that's just sort of what I like. So even though this one is fun and bright, I actually did prefer it when I used more dialed down tones, so like a burnt orange and a mustard yellow. And I believe I used that same deep blue as I used for the house of our little, or the roof of our little house in this video. So once you're done the coloring, you can just leave it as is, or you can go in with either a white gel pen, or maybe if you want to use a gel pen or other pen that matches the color palette and go in with a darker purple or a darker blue or something, you can absolutely do that. And I'm just drawing, again, random designs on a few of these blocks of color. So I'm not drawing designs on all of them, but just some of them. And again, these definitely pop more off camera, but I still like how they turned out on camera. So to finish off this theme, I'm just going to take a black pen and outline this whole box, and that's it. So that one's pretty simple, just coloring in a bunch of waves, adding some letters and some white gel pen. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you found at least 1 or 2 April themes that inspired you to set up your own April theme in your bullet journal. Again, let me know in the comments which one is your favorite, and I'll see you guys in the next video.